What's going on, guys? Briar Rabbit here. Today we're going to do a little bit something different with the Iron Banner. Normally when I talk about Lady Aphrodite returning to the tower, I tell you, the gear she's got is really good, but I don't explain much what I'm talking about. So for new players or players who are a little bit unfamiliar with what I'm talking about here, I'm going to explain exactly what I mean by tier levels and why the Iron Banner is so important to building out a really strong character. So when we go and see Lady Aphrodite, what we're going to see is that she's got 2 sets of leg armor and 2 sets of helmets for each character. It doesn't really matter what character we're looking at here. I'm on my Titan right now, but that's kind of beside the point. For each character, Hunter, Warlock, and Titan, she's going to have really good armor here. And you're going to see the 350 defense, and that's not what we're looking at. It's very easy to infuse this armor up to 400, especially if you're competing in the Iron Banner. What you do is you just save a couple of pieces that drop at high light level for you, but you're actually going to want to infuse those into the pieces that you buy from the Iron Banner. And to explain why, we're actually going to take a look at a website called DIM, or this is an add-in to Chrome called DIM. And this is the main page. You can see all my gear is kind of here in this page. But if we go up here to vendors, we're going to take a look at why the Iron Banner gear is as good as it is. And this is all the Iron Banner gear for sale this week. And what you're going to see here is a bunch of green, a bunch of blue, and then the 2 weapons. What these green numbers mean is that we are nearly at 100% stat rolls, and the blue numbers mean we've actually hit 100% stat rolls. And this week you can see that the boots, one for each class, is actually at 100%, and even the ones that aren't are at 99%, 98%, and 98%. So they're really high rolls on intellect, strength, and discipline. What that means is by combining a loadout that has a lot of these, that you're going to be able to get your supers faster, your grenades faster, and your strength faster. And the great thing about DIM, or Destiny Item Manager, that I'm using here is that it's going to actually help me do that. So if I go up to the top of DIM and hit these little stat bars, this loadout builder, what this thing will allow me to do is specify how I'd like to build my Titan. So right now I can build a 5.5.2, but I really have very few options on how that's going to do. What that means is I've got maxed out intellect, maxed out discipline, and 2 in strength. It doesn't give me a whole lot of options though. So what I'm actually going to do is go down to a tier 11 build and show you the options for a 5.5.1. And you can see now I've got much more options on how I can build it. Now, what you're going to see right here is DIM doesn't care what exotics you're running. It's just going to make the best intellect, discipline, and strength roll. So what if I know for a fact that I want a certain exotic? Well, you can go here to chest, and let's see here. Let's see if we can find the exotic that I want. Well, let's say we want to use the tactical air support that is on, I forgot the name of them, the Twilight Garrison here. Now, it will force the Twilight Garrison into all of my builds and still give me a 5.5.2, or let's say I want more emphasis on strength and discipline. I can do that as well. I can have a 2.4.5 build with this setup as well, which means I'm going to have supers less, but I'm going to be throwing grenades and being able to melee a whole bunch. And this is a really nice way to do that. Now, what if you don't have enough high-level gear to actually make this happen? What if all your stuff is 91%, 95%, and you just don't have the options for 5.5.2 builds or 5.5.1 builds? Well, you can also go up here to show Titan gear and tell it to include the vendor items. And what this allows you to do is actually go and figure out what vendors are selling items that are going to help you get better gear. And when Iron Banner is around, that stuff is definitely going to be included in here. You can see right now, because I have a relatively low level helmet, not light level, but actually intellect and discipline and strength levels, it is telling me you definitely should go and get the Iron Saga helm that is available for the Iron Banner this week, because it's a 99 or a 98% roll. So that's how to do it, and it's a very easy tool to run with. DIM is available. Just do a search for Destiny Item Manager. It's available. It's just a Chrome plugin. It's not an actual app, so it'll work on Mac. It'll work on PC. I think it even works with iOS phones. I'm not sure about that one, but this is a very easy system to use, and it just makes managing your inventory very, very easy, and creating loadouts very, very easy as well. And you can see that when you just kind of, you want Twilight Garrison, you want, a lot more intellect and discipline than you want strength. You can just make that happen right here. And because I know that I want to get this this new helmet, this thing is just sitting there at the vendor waiting for me. Of course, you got to compete in the Iron Banner this week to actually get this stuff, but this is a very easy tool to use. Back to Lady Aphrodite this week. She does have really good gear this week. She has really good gear every time she comes around. But what you're going to want to really do to maximize the effect of this is, like I said before, is you're going to want to buy the vendor gear from her, and don't just buy the intellect and discipline. Buy the discipline and strength if you can afford it too, because that'll allow DIM to have more options for creating the specific loadout you want. Let's say your Twilight Garrison is all intellect and discipline. Well, then you're going to want some discipline and strength stuff, to even out your stats. So don't just buy intellect and discipline everything, because you're not gonna have enough options for DIM to do its dirty work with. So you're definitely gonna want to be aware of that. But what you're gonna want to do is go and compete in Iron Banner, get those high light level drops that come, and then infuse those into this vendor gear, because this vendor gear, the stats on it are just so strong that you're really gonna want to keep this stuff, the helm and the boots. And then the next Iron Banner, hopefully we get Greaves, hopefully we get boots, and as you, hopefully we get arms, and hopefully we get chests. And as you compete in more Iron Banners, the options you have for getting to tier 12, even to tier 13 or tier 14, are just bigger and stronger, and the perks that you can select from are better and better. And that just makes your loadout better for Iron Banner, or for Trials of Osiris, or even for PvE activities. Having more grenades, having more supers, having more special attacks, they're just going to help you out. This week, there was really nothing special going on with the weapons, so I didn't really bother making a video. But I did want to kind of point out how good the Iron Banner can be in improving your armor sets. It really is important. And DIM, the Destiny Item Manager, can really help you achieve that quickly and easily. But you're probably, unless you just can't get a lingering song, you're probably going to want to skip this one. It is a very cool weapon. Firefly explosive rounds would be kind of fun for PvE, but this thing, it does so much damage that you're basically wasting damage when you shoot like lower level enemies. And it's got no reload over here. Like, if there's something that could help you reload for PvE, it wouldn't be bad. But because this thing fires slowly, you just end up wasting your DPS basically on lower level stuff. And because the reload is slow, it's not that great for putting damage on bosses either. It's a cool ass weapon though, so if you don't get one to drop with better perks than this, buy this one. But hopefully you get some better PvP perks, because this thing is a lot of fun in PvP. It's not a top tier weapon in PvP, but it's fun. And the Laughing Heart, it's just not the right. It's not the right impact profile. It just doesn't do enough damage. So I would just skip it altogether. But yeah, I mean, that's the video. So thank you guys for watching. Hit that like button if you like the video. Hit subscribe if you're new to the channel. And I'll see you guys next time.